Atomic Habits, author James Clear provides a practical framework for building habits that lead to meaningful change. He argues that lasting transformation comes not from dramatic makeovers, but from many small improvements accumulated over time. The book outlines strategies for designing environments and routines that make good habits easy and breaking bad habits difficult. Clear explains how atomic habits work through the power of compounding, whereby tiny changes tag up, producing significant results down the road. He shares research on human behavior as well as personal anecdotes to support his claims. The central thesis is that by adopting atomic habits, one can continuously improve and ultimately become the best version of oneself. This summary will focus on extracting the book's key financial and lifestyle lessons for building wealth. Chapter 1: The Surprising Power of Atomic Habits. The first chapter introduces the concept of atomic habits, which Clear defines as small habits that are implemented consistently over time to achieve meaningful results. He uses the analogy of atoms combining to form molecules to illustrate the compounding effect of atomic habits. Clear argues against the conventional approach of setting ambitious goals for rapid transformation, explaining that lasting change more often results from incremental improvements in systems and processes. He shares research showing that people overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year while underestimating what they can achieve in 5 or 10 years through atomic habits. The key is consistency and patience. Even a 1% change compounded over time can make a significant difference. Clear urges focusing on building better systems rather than specific outcomes. Chapter 2: How your habits shape your identity and vice versa. This chapter explores the correlation between habits and identity. Clear explains that habits contribute to shaping your sense of self, while your identity and core values can fuel habits. He encourages finding intrinsic motivation by linking new habits to values or an aspirational identity. For example, frugality aligns with an identity as a savvy investor. Clear suggests writing down core values and envisioning your best self to uncover motivations. Identity-based habits can naturally, whereas habits lacking purpose require constant willpower. Associating actions like saving money or reading about investing with values makes them more ingrained. Chapter 3: How to build better habits in 4 simple steps. Here, Clear introduces a 4-step model for constructing atomic habits: cue, craving, response, and reward. He advises starting with an obvious cue, making the behavior attractive, easy, and satisfying. For example, leave investing magazines on your desk. Focus on the satisfying feeling of saving toward retirement. Automate transfers from checking to investment accounts, and celebrate by treating yourself when you hit savings milestones. Clear offers tips like implementation intentions, temptation bundling, habit stacking, and environment design to incorporate these steps. The key is to remove friction and increase motivation so actions become automatic over time. Chapter 4: The Man Who Didn't Look Right. This chapter highlights the story of World War II veteran Eugene Pauly, who completely lost his memories and identity after viral encephalitis damaged his medial temporal lobe. Neuroscientists were stunned to find Pauly could perform complex habitual tasks like getting dressed, despite zero memory of being caught and no knowledge of his own identity. This extreme case study illustrates the power of basal ganglia, the brain region where habits are formed through repetition and practice. Clear explains how we can leverage the basal ganglia's capability for automaticity independent of memory by patiently ingraining atomic habits. Chapter 5, The Secret to Results, Consistency over Intensity. Clear argues that intensity matters less than consistency in forming habits, noting it's better to work out moderately for an hour daily than intensely for 4 hours one day per week. He points to the minimum effective dose concept, suggesting starting with the smallest habit that could produce a desired outcome. For example, put $10 per paycheck into an investment account. Daily repetition develops automaticity faster than sporadic intense sessions. Clear advocates focusing on progress, not perfection, when building habits. Slow, steady, and consistent gains compound over years. He provides tips like accountability, partners, commitment devices, and implementation intentions to stay consistent. Chapter 6. Motivation is overrated, environment often matters more. Here, Clear challenges the common belief that lacking motivation prevents habit formation, arguing environment design is more critical. He says we can reduce reliance on motivation by tweaking surroundings to automatically stimulate habits. For example, keep gym clothes by your bed. Working out requires less effort. Clear encourages what he calls action environment design, like placing financial books on your desk, keeping credit cards locked up during shopping trips, or deleting frivolous apps from your phone to guide action. He advises leveraging technology and checklists to design nudges towards better financial habits. The key is outsourcing habit initiation from your conscious mind to the environment. Chapter 7, The Secret to Self-Control. This chapter focuses on developing self-control to break bad financial habits like overspending. Clear recommends pausing before acting on impulses and asking whether an action aligns with your goals and identity. Other tips include planning for obstacles, adjusting surroundings to discourage bad habits, managing cravings through distraction or delaying gratification, and tapping social accountability. He argues self-control is like a muscle that fatigues but grows stronger through small means consistently reinforced over time. For example, decline a daily fancy coffee to build financial discipline muscle. Clear also suggests visualization exercises focused on long-term goals to strengthen self-control in the face of temptation. Chapter 8, How to Make Good Habits Inevitable and Bad Habits Impossible. Here, Clear shifts to making habits unavoidable and temptation inaccessible. He proposes leveraging technology like automatic savings and bill pay or prepaid spending allowances as a hard barrier against overindulgence, removing the need to exercise willpower for every purchase. Other suggestions include shutting down frivolous accounts, unsubscribing from shopping emails, and even outsourcing financial management to limit opportunities for poor spending habits. Clear argues making good habits inevitable and bad habits impossible is an ideal strategy if you chronically struggle with self-control. Chapter 9, The Role of Family and Friends in Shaping Your Habits. This chapter explores social influences on habits. Clear explains habits and peer pressure can spread through social ties, which both poses risks and provides opportunities. He warns against financial pressure from family or friends towards selfish overconsumption. However, he says accountability partners and support groups and healthy competitions can improve good habits by leveraging social incentives and our innate desire to conform. Clear offered tips for finding a supportive community, such as participating in a stock investment club to expand your financial knowledge. He emphasizes being selective about your peer groups. Chapter 10, How to Find and Fix the Cause of Your Bad Habits. Here, Clear shifts toward diagnosing and modifying bad habits. He argues identifying root causes, not berating oneself for lapses, is key. Clear suggests reviewing past habits, attempts to spot recurring failure points and triggers, such as declining willpower later in the day. He then advises tweaking your system to address the underlying issue, like shifting a challenging habit to mornings. Clear coaches readers to speak supportively to themselves after a stumble, avoiding a self-criticism that inhibits change. Finally, he emphasizes that perfection is unrealistic. A better target is managing backsliding through pre-planned recovery routines to quickly return to good habits. Chapter 11, Walk Slowly but Never Backward. This chapter focuses on maintaining habits long-term through flexibility and accountability. Clear warns about the risk of perfectionism. Arguing small backward steps after a setback do not indicate failure if overall trajectory still trends upward. He says focusing on lifelong refinement over immediate perfection is key for sustaining habits. Clear also discusses the benefits of tracking progress and accountability through habit contracts, coaches, or other mechanisms to stay honest. However, he cautions against unrealistic, rigid expectations, stressing the importance of self-compassion and starting over after missteps. Walking slowly forward is better than giving up. Chapter 12, The Law of Diminishing Returns. In the concluding chapter, Clear explores the concept of diminishing returns and how to know when to stop optimizing a habit. He argues the first refinements give the biggest bangs for your buck, but returns diminish with excessive complexity until reaching negative returns. Clear suggests tracking rate of improvement over time, and when it plateaus, switch gears to a new habit with steeper returns. He advises 80/20 analysis to identify and focus on high-impact habits with the greatest payoff potential. In closing, Clear urges focus on building better lifelong systems through atomic habits, not single wins. Small improvements compound over decades into remarkable results. Conclusion: in Atomic Habits, James Clear provides a practical framework for harnessing the power of atomic habits to achieve financial freedom and build wealth incrementally over time. Through small daily improvement in system and routines, ordinary people can accumulate extraordinary results. This summary extracted key insights on how to develop habits naturally aligned with your values and identity. Make them straightforward through smart design and sustain them through flexibility and accountability. In total, Atomic Habits offers a roadmap to continuously improve your finances and intentionally craft your ideal lifestyles through the patience and persistence of Atomic Habits. The core takeaway is that small habits repeated consistently over time can compound into remarkable outcomes. With Atomic Habits, financial freedom and your best life are within reach.